Welcome to Mind of Major, where I say use your mind, don't lose your mind, don't get left behind, become a mind. We family over here. Come on over. Welcome to the very first episode of G.A.S. as an acronym for goofy ass shit. Goofy ass shit that I just happened to stumble across via the internet. Today, we're going to be talking about the good old Phoenix Police Department. I stumbled across a video today that's making headlines. They actually had body cam footage of two officers beating and tasing, get this, a man that was deaf, not only deaf, but also he has cerebral palsy. Yeah, I didn't I didn't mistakenly say anything. They actually beat and tased a man that was deaf and had cerebral palsy. Of course, I can't show you that video here, but right after you finish watching this video, go look it up. Two officers beat deaf man. I'm quite sure you're going to find it. But anyway, before I get into this right here, I need you to do a couple of things. I need for you to, one, push that like button. Yeah, so we can hit that algorithm. Two, I need you to, that little red thing that says subscribe, I need you to press that as well. Then there's a bell. Bars. But there's a bell. I need you to press the bell. And then press all, so that you won't miss none of the future videos that I put up on here of G.A.S. This is where we at right now. But anyway, let's get it. The guy that was beat and tased, name is Tyrone McAlpin. I think McAlpin, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. He's 34 years old. All right? 34 years old. And let's just get this out the way right now, right? Tyrone, as you probably can already figure, he's a black guy, right? He's a black guy that's deaf and has cerebral palsy, right? Now, this whole thing, now I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. You had to actually see. I'm gonna narrate this as best as I can, but you have to actually see the actual video. Cause I lie to you not. I mean, they beat all the baby seal noises out of this guy. Yeah, I mean, completely. They beat all the baby seal noises out of this guy.
That's who said it.
He said
not me, but that's who said it.
Well, anyway, yeah, this is how the whole thing started. Police get a 911 call from a spot that's called Circle K Convenience Store, right? There in Phoenix. The call comes in. There's a white male, right? Gave his description. A white male that's causing problems in the store, right? Saying that he's being aggressive. He's he was in the midst of a aggressive altercation and loitering, right? This was the issue. But keep in mind, call came through, white guy, right? Officer, let me get these two goofballs names. I wanna get their names right. You know what I mean? Two goofballs, right? Where these guys at? Officer Benjamin Harris and Officer Cal Sue, right? Of the Phoenix Police Department, right? They arrive at this convenience store. When they arrive, they speak with the guy that the call came out for. His name is Dirk Stevens, right? They approach this guy outside of the store, right? You know what happens then? He tells them, basically, forget that call that y'all just got, and points across the street to Tyrone and say, he punched me in my face and stole my phone. And just like that, boom. Officer Harris, Officer Sue jumped back in their patrol cars and made a beeline for Tyrone. Right? Made a beeline for Tyrone. Now keep in mind, Tyrone is deaf, right? Tyrone is deaf. And he has cerebral palsy. They pull up on him, hop out the cars, saying, hey, let me talk to you. But of course, he couldn't hear him. Right? He couldn't hear him, right? So he basically keeps on walking because he didn't do anything wrong. So they jump out and immediately starts beating, right? Immediate, no, give me your ID, none of that. Just beating them, putting the beats on them. You know what I mean? Not by Dre. You know what I mean? Beats by Benjamin. They put the Beats by Benjamin on them. You know what I mean? And one beat him, the other one tasing him, right? And like I said before, beat and tased all the baby seal noises out of him, right? I mean, if you know anybody that's deaf, and you know where I'm going with that. But anyway, yeah, I'm probably going to hell for, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep going with this, right? But they in the video, Tyrone is punched in the head at least 10 times, right? In the head. The cabeza, right? For all my, you know what I mean? You know, I know a little bit of that. I mean, tased 4 times, right? Now, all the while, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. But again, he can't hear them. He can't hear them, right? So eventually, they get him handcuffed and everything. His wife ends up at the scene. She lets the officers know that he has cerebral palsy. Tells them, he got cerebral palsy and he's deaf. No, well, she begins by saying he's disabled. Oh, what kind of disabilities he got? Well, he got cerebral palsy and he's deaf. Well, if he was deaf, how was he on the cell phone? As if because you're on the cell phone or you're using the cell phone and you're deaf, that's, you know what I mean? But she told him she was signing, she was doing sign language. I guess they was, you know what I mean, video call, and she was doing sign language. But this right here explains the rationale of these two officers. Like I said, they're two idiots, right? But that's not the kicker. Well, in this case, the punchline. You know what I mean? The punchline is, you know what I mean? After the officers go back to the store and view the surveillance footage or whatever and realize that, yeah, they effed up. You know what I mean? After they realize they effed up, right? Trying to clean it up a little bit, you know what I mean? But after they realize that they effed up, you think they still arrested him. They still arrested Tyrone, right? Charged him with theft of a cell phone. Of course, they took the original perpetrator word and the cell phone that he had. They charged him with basically stealing his own cell phone, right? That was the initial charges, as well as assault on 2 police officers, right? Now, the theft of the cell phone was eventually dropped, right? So you would think, well, okay, well, if they realize that he didn't do anything wrong or whatever, that the case would be thrown out altogether. No, that's not how that went, right? Not at all. Tyrone he was arrested. He was in jail for 24 days with a $7,500 bail that he could not make because he didn't have the money to pay the bill. But he stayed in jail for 24 days until he was bailed out by a nonprofit there in Phoenix, right? They went to preliminary hearing. And you would think, well, seeing that the guy Steven lied on him and, kicked all this off and he didn't actually do anything, well, they're going to just throw it out. Not at all. Right? The judge say he finds significant evidence to proceed with the case. You got to be kidding me. I ain't say kicking me. I said kidding me. You know what I mean? But you actually say, and Officer Benjamin Harris and Kyle Sue had to, testify at the preliminary, right? I don't know which one of these nuts. If I'm not mistaken, Benjamin Harris, if I'm not mistaken, one of the idiots, right, say that, that he took a stance like he was going to run and fight. How do you do both of them at the same time, right? They say it's either fight or flight, right? How did you do both at the same time? But if you see that video, you'll see for yourself. He didn't have a chance to think about what he was going to do. And assaulting the officers, yeah, they charged him with assaulting the officer's fist with his head. He assaulted both of the officers' fists with his head and face, right? Yeah, I've never heard of it either. But let them tell it this is what happens, because that's all that happened. Their fist met his face, you know what I mean? But they were assaulted. Anyway, it was a big historical something as far as the DOJ, Department of Justice, wanting to have oversight. They, have oversight over most of the states or whatever. Now, no federal oversight. Not in Phoenix. Not in Arizona. You know what I mean? They've been going against it. The stuff that the Department of Justice had, you know what I mean, wrote up and say this was the rules or whatever. You know what they did with those rules? You know what they did with their rules? I think they wiped and flushed with them. You know what I mean? So now they're calling for a big old investigation into this case, this, that, and the third. But my whole thing is, right? If you automatically jump out on somebody and just pound them out, and this guy actually had the nerve to say, well, if he would have let us know that he was deaf, it would have went different. You jump straight out the car and start punching him in the face. What was he going to do? How would he? He said if he'd have let me know, I would have had him sit down, and I would have went and got a pen and paper. All right, my guy. Okay, my guy. You know what I mean? But this just leads me back to the whole thing as far as with Trump, right? Now, if Trump has his way, he wants to actually give police officers immunity in cases like this, right? Where they can beat all the baby seal noises out of you, right? While you're disabled, they can beat all the baby seal noises out of a disabled person, right? And get away with it. So what do you think would happen to the average person, right? If he was to have his way. Y'all just operate with impunity. Man, it would constantly be the smell of gunpowder in the air. You see me. But this is November the 5th. Election day is quickly approaching. You better pay attention. Pay attention to the signs. Because if they get away with doing this to somebody, like I said, that's disabled, the average person ain't got a chance. You better be mindful. You might not like everything that Kamala Harris is talking about, but when you think about getting ran up on because somebody of another paint job, they say, oh, he did this to me, and that's all it takes for them to run up on you and beat all the baby seal noises out of you. You know what I mean? Then arrest you, throw out the initial charge, and have you charged with felony, not a misdemeanor, but felony assault charges on a police officer when you weren't even supposed to be approached. But now you are facing felony assault charges on a police officer. Make America great again, huh? Make America, is that makes one say, when was America ever great? You know, if it's something like this could happen, I don't know. Like I say, this is the goofy shit I came across on the internet. I just had to get my little 2 cents on it. And I'll be honest with you. I caught a little glimpse of it, and this is before I even knew he had cerebral palsy and this, that, and the third. And only thing I knew, deaf guy getting beat up by the cops or whatever, beaten tased by the cops. Now I got a twisted sense of humor. It is what it is, right? And I know some deaf people. So when I read the article, the first thing that came to my mind was, you know, one of the deaf people I know, you know what I mean, sound like a freaking baby seal, right? You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I came up with. The first thing that came to my mind, damn, they beat all the baby seal noises out of them. You know what I mean? Probably not right, but I don't think I'm wrong. I'm quite sure Tyrone ain't gonna mind. He can't hear me. He ain't gonna know I said it because he can't hear me. Only way he gonna know is if you tell him. Oh, damn, my bad. I forgot all about. Damn. I forgot all about they got closed caption on these joints. So the words will come. Tyrone. My man. You know what I mean? We good. You know what I mean? My bad. But speaking of bags, when it's all said and done, I don't think he's going to be going to jail. Where do I think he'll be going? To the bank. You hear me? You know what I mean? And I hope he got uh, a direct deposit. You know what I mean? So it won't take that long to get to the people. You know what I mean? You know, you got a direct deposit or something like that. Just shoot it through the wire. Shoot it through the wire. You know what I mean? Yo, when you get that bag, holla at me. You know what I mean? Holla at your boy. You know what I mean? But anyway, I can't even close out with my other outro, and I ain't figured no outro to go to this goofy ass shit. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. On your way out the door, don't slip on the floor. You know what I mean? Cause there ain't no insurance around here. You know what I mean? But make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Do all that stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, share. It's still your boy C Major. 2 in the air.